In today's exploration we head inside an abandoned care home falling into disrepair, still with many old features from its time as a mansion. The building's shut in a dark way and we will go into everything as we take a more in-depth look inside. Many fitting items remain in the interior, mixing with the decay from some heavy water damage. So join us as we enter this suffering structure in order to see what's left. You can see evidence of abandonment from the front of the care home, although there is minimal wooden boards. Scaffolding is all over the roof to protect the building from falling in on itself. It also appears that someone has been removing items from the interior and placing them in a skip outside. Once we had gained access, we scanned the bottom floor before heading into the basement. Each room had furniture inside as well as a massive mould on the walls. The mansion was built in the 1850s, extended in size due to demands from a rich cotton merchant that lived inside. It changed uses into a children's home in the 1970s briefly, before changing uses for a final time into a nursing home owned by two millionaires. Downstairs, the mould was in an even worse state. There was an unreal amount of water damage throughout the building, which is why we don't think it will last if nothing is done to save it. The basement featured the usual stuff, laundry rooms and kitchens, where food for the elderly living here was made every day. In addition, the darkness of the basement is also reflecting in why the site had to close, which is quite a saddening story. When the care home was running, a surprise inspection found that the residents were living in terrible conditions. Some hadn't been bathed for up to 4 weeks, whilst their rooms stank and were not cleaned. Also, there was a lack of food, and staff weren't following the information given for certain residents, meaning the wrong medicine was being given. Because of this, the care home was closed in 2015, and the two millionaires that owned it were fined almost £100,000 in court. Some parts of the building had obviously been there from the beginning, leaving old features behind that was stunning to see. You may notice what appears to be rain coming into this incredible staircase, but that is just the building up of water on the canvas on the roof leaking down through multiple floors. We explored this place over 2 months ago, and by that time next year it is unlikely this beautiful photogenic setup will still be standing, which is a huge shame. Upstairs we ventured onto the second floor of 3, which consisted of bedrooms and living areas. There wasn't a massive amount to see, as this floor was probably in the best shape of them all and everything had been stripped. However, one large room was decaying nicely. With many chairs and books, this was a lounge for the residents. It is easy to notice that it looks a bit cramped. We can hope that all the chairs were stored in here and this wasn't how people were expected to sit together. There was also a miniature kitchen and dining room on floor 2, perhaps for residents that were too ill to come downstairs, so food could be sent to them. It was crazy to see that every single bedroom had a bed. None of them looked to be out of use either, so it is strange that they weren't transported to a neighbouring care home. Walking through the building was quite eerie, especially knowing that some people will have died inside these very rooms. So far on the Explorer there hadn't been much vandalism, however it appeared that there had been an arson attack on the top floor which had left it in a very bad state. Fire damage was causing the cream wallpaper to turn black and the ceiling to drop down to the floor. This level of repairs would cost a huge amount, probably a reason for the complete neglection of the site. On a roof terrace we noticed that a lot of slate was missing from the roof, meaning that someone has been stealing it from the ruined structure. At this point we decided to wrap up our Explorer and head back outside. So far no plans have been submitted for the building, and with the massive internal damage we don't think any will come. It will only last as a fading memory of what it used to be.